Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lynn Scott Hagerman Show. Today's guest, I am very honored and blessed to welcome Dr. Harvey Manes. He's one of America's most influential, quietly influential philanthropists, a man who's funded peace projects, art programs, community development, and humanitarian initiatives that have transformed countless lives. He prefers to work behind the scenes. But today we're very blessed. He's joining us to share his mission and his values and his vision for creating peace and positive change in America. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Harvey Manes to the program. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am doing
Nice
fine
to meet
too.
you. Nice
It's
to
nice
meet
to
you.
meet you too. And it's such an honor to have you on the program today.
Okay, well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure and it's my honor actually to be interviewed by you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I had several questions based on your background that I'll jump into because I know our time is limited. So, the first thing I'd love to know is what awakened this strong desire that you have to give and to help support others on such a large scale?
Well, I've spent my whole life taking from the world and taking from people and taking from the earth. So I finally realized we're not here just for taking, we're here also to be giving.
Oh, that's
I'm,
beautiful.
I'm being a little bit sarcastic. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But no, I've done well. And look, as a doctor, I'm always giving. I'm always trying to help people. And
yes.
even as a little kid, before I was a doctor, I was always trying to help people. People ask my advice for various things, and and now, I actually retired 2 years ago, but I work in the emergency room as a volunteer at the Delray Medical Center, and I'm still helping people. I give them advice, and I help the nurses, treat patients, and things like that. So. We're here, and I've told my kids, I have 4 children, that we're here not just to have pleasure for ourselves, but to give back to make the world a better place. There's something called tikkun olam, and that means to heal the world, to make the world a better place. And I think that's our actual our meaning, the meaning that we have for why God put us here, to help people, to help our friends, and to make the world a better place.
Amen. Amen. I know you have your peace focused foundation. Tell me about that. How did that come into existence and what happens to that program?
Okay, well, I wanted to create a foundation, a charity, and I wanted to figure out, well, what kind of charity should I create? That's the big question. Should I give to the cancer fund? Should I give to just the poverty fund, or whatever? So I
Yeah.
decided that I created a peace prize to create peace in the world and goodwill in the world, which does cover poverty, which does cover diseases. I donate to medical centers. I donate to the Heart Association, Cancer Association. It's all to promote peace and goodwill to people and the world. And I have a few quotes that I have on my website. My website is manespeaceprize.com. Manes Peace Prize, MANES peaceprize.com. And here's a couple of quotes. One of the most important quotes is from Martin Luther King. And his quote is, life's most urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
Amen.
And that really, is summarizes what I'm doing. The Bible teaches charity is equal to all other commandments combined. We have so-called 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Charity is equal to all of them. Winston Churchill said, you make a living by what you get, and you make a life by what you give. So, these are things that are, statements that are profound, and they hit me in the soul and in the heart. And so I'm giving back to promote peace and goodwill on this planet.
Amen. I think that's so beautiful. The so I know that you also give awards to individual, and you've written a book too, the Nobel Peace Prize, and how it's failed us.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So title says it all.
I actually went to the Nobel. I wrote that book about 10 years ago. I started my foundation 15 years ago, and I wrote that book. And also part of the reason I created my foundation was because I felt the Nobel Peace Prize did actually fail us. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's been very politicized, and they've given the Peace Prize. They gave it to Obama,
Right.
uh, right as soon as he became president, and he really didn't do anything in particular, but just the fact that he was president and it was a black person, I think they felt he deserves a Peace Prize. They gave it to Yasser Arafat, who's a renowned terrorist, and he doesn't promote peace at all. He was anti-peace. They gave it to Al Gore, his movie Inconvenient Truth.
Yeah.
Very good movie. I mean, they found it has at least 20 mistakes in it. And I think the world was supposed to end 5 years ago because of global warming. So, I felt it was very politicized, and they needed to take away the politics from the Nobel Prize and give it to the individual institution that promotes the most peace. And also, I felt it should be an American Peace Prize. The Nobel Prize is international. And so I felt that this should be an American Peace Prize. And recently, talking about politics, they recently gave it to Marla Machado about a month ago. I don't know if you remember this, but
No, I don't.
a month ago, they gave it to Marla Machado from Venezuela, who tried to promote peace in Venezuela because they were being ruled by a dictator. So she tried to promote democracy. And even she, in her statement, she said, "I need to give kudos to President Trump, because he helped her and he helped promote democracy in Venezuela." I mean, the Peace Prize completely overlooked the fact that Trump helped reduce wars around the world. I think there's 7, or he says 8. I can't name all of them, but the main one that he helped promote peace was in the Middle East, between Hamas and Iran and Israel. And
Yes.
he got the hostages back, the 20 hostages back, whatever. And he should have been given the Peace Prize, but instead they gave it to Miss Machado, who's doing wonderful things, but nowhere near what has been done by President Trump.
Who's on the committee that makes those decisions? What types of folks?
On the foundation committee.
Oh, I meant on the Nobel Peace Prize committee that
Oh,
makes
oh,
those
oh.
decisions. I mean,
That's a good question. I'm not sure who's on the committee, but people get nominated from heads of states and people who are involved in politics, and it's become a very left-leaning organization, very woke, and they're not giving it to the people that need it. And here's a perfect example. Um, the most important person who promoted peace in the 20th century, the most important person, was not given the Peace Prize. And that person was Mahatma Gandhi. And when I mentioned that to people, they were very, very surprised. But when you think
yes,
about promoting peace, Mahatma Gandhi is number one man.
yes, yes, that's fascinating. And the question you asked before is perfect. So with your organization, your foundation, what types of people or organizations inspire you to invest in what they're doing?
Okay, so I've given the prize over the past 15 years. I just say maybe to 20 to 30 different people and organizations. And most recently, I made a donation to Bethel Woods, which was the Woodstock uh, Museum, although it's
Yeah,
called Bethel Woods, but it's based on the Woodstock Museum. And that, Woodstock was all about peace and love way
yeah.
back 50 years ago. And I was there. I was at
You were
Woodstock.
at Woodstock?
There was when I was a teenager. Yes, I was there. And I've always thought about peace. That's another reason why I created the Peace Prize, because Woodstock promoted this thing in my mind that peace on earth is so important. And that was the time when we were fighting the Vietnam War,
Yeah,
and the younger generation like myself, the hippies and the younger generation, were very anti-war, and we were burning our draft cards, and we were marching all over the place. And Woodstock was a place where there were 500,000, 500,000 people, 500,000 hippies promoting peace. And the media thought there would be all kinds of violence and all kinds of problems and drug use and things like that. And it turned out to be so peaceful. And it was just like very surprising to the rest of the world how peaceful and loving the whole ceremony was. So I'm going off on a tangent, but most recently I donated about $500,000 to the Bethel Woods Museum, and they named the Manes Conservatory, which is a building that promotes that teaches music and art to high school students, and it's called the Manes Conservatory. So I was very happy about that. I recently gave to Northwell Syosset Hospital the orthopedic surgical wing.
Yeah.
And they needed to remodel the surgical wing, and now it's called the Manes Orthopedic Surgical Wing.
Wow.
And why did I give there? Because I was a doctor there. I practiced orthopedic surgery at Syosset Hospital. I also had surgery around 5 years ago at Syosset Hospital, and it was very meaningful to me. And I felt that by helping people in surgery, it helps promote goodwill and helps promote good things for people, makes them feel better, gets them healthy again. So that's the last two. I also made a large donation pledge to the Boca Raton Museum. That was recently, and I donated over $1 million to the Nassau County Museum of Art. But I've also donated to food shelter, homeless and food shelters, and synagogues, and churches, and the Krypton House. The Krypton House was a house that was built by Mr. Krypton, who was a black slave that came up north, and he opened up the first church, the first African American church in the Huntington, Long Island region.
Wow.
And his house was in terrible shape, and they needed to remodel his house. His house was from like 1860. So as a result of my donation, they were able to get the monies to renovate the Krypton House. So those are a few of the donations I made over the past couple of years.
That's wonderful. So I have to backtrack us just a second because, when I think of Woodstock, I just have to go back there just a second. This is nothing I was aware of. I am trying to picture you with long hair at Woodstock, and I'm having a bit of a time. So I have to ask, I mean, were you like full-blown hippie back then, like long hair and beads and the whole?
Totally, sure.
Really?
And well, my hair, I had a lot more hair, and it was dark, and it was very long, and it was kind of like a fro, like because I had kind of like curly hair, so it was kind of
Yeah,
like a fro, all right. And I wore John Lennon glasses, these
yeah.
round glasses, and I have to admit I smoked a lot of weed. I mean, now it's legal, but back then it was dangerous. You can go to jail. All did. College students, we all smoked weed in college.
Yeah. I love
Not
hearing this radical peace-loving side of you. And so I just have to ask one more question. What was your most memorable event during Woodstock?
while I was at Woodstock.
While you were there, what stands out in your mind the most that
Oh
happened?
man, I don't know if I can tell you.
Oh, okay. Yes, we are a G-rated show. Maybe we
There are a few memorable things. First, a lot of rain and mud. Okay, it was a very rainy, muddy situation. Okay, and you had to find a place to sleep. All right. So there was this young lady there who was kind of cute, and she had a sleeping bag. And I asked her if I can join her in the sleeping bag. And
Okay.
she let me join her in the sleeping bag. Was there like 5 nights and stuff. So that was kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of pictures. Listen to this. I took a lot of pictures at that time. and I saved them. And when I went to the Woodstock Museum last year, because I made the donation last year, I brought the pictures, and they were so fascinated and they were so happy about my pictures because they it showed things that were there that they knew what was there, but they didn't have pictures of. And
Wow,
they're going to use my pictures now when they promote Woodstock. They're going to use some of my pictures that I took 50 years ago. So I was
that's
very happy about
amazing.
that.
That is amazing, Dr. Manis. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good story.
I wanted to document. I knew this was going to be a great event, and I wanted to document it. So I was a little bit of a photographer in those days, and I became an art collector, and I started collecting lots of art, Warhol and Picasso, and those type, and I've donated a lot of pieces to museums, and that's why I also am connected to museums because I love art. Art's my passion, and I try to help museums. Build have teaching classes and build more space to promote art. Because I feel art ties people together all over the world. You have an artist from South Africa, or an artist from Russia, and you have an artist in America. They all connect with each other. They're all doing something that connects them together. Art and music connects the world together. So I try to promote art and music as well.
And you have beautiful pieces on your website. I encourage everyone to go look. What role do you believe that art plays in community healing and peace?
Well, like I said, art and music have no boundaries, no artificial boundaries in the world. Uh, you have a musician from Denmark, connecting with somebody from let's say Cuba, and I've been to Cuba, and they have some terrific art there. But the country is really in bad shape as a result of the communist takeover there. But getting back, so it's a universal language, music and art that connects people.
So, what advice do you have for people who want to start giving, but they just don't know where to begin?
I'm sorry, say that again. What's your question?
What advice do you have for people who also want to start giving, but they don't know where to begin?
Oh, well, that's a very good question. I mean, first of all, you have to have means to give. Oops, oops, oops. I'm so sorry. Oops, I just said sorry. You have to have means, to give. It doesn't have to be a lot. I mean, giving a few $100s or a few $1,000s to a charity is fine. And you have to feel like what's really important to you is sickness. And I mean, if a relative passed away, a close relative passed away from cancer, you might want to give to the Cancer Society or some other disease. But children in poverty, to me, children in poverty is so sad, or children with bad illnesses is so sad. So I give to the organization Saint, I think it's Saint Jude,
Yeah,
and I think they're the ones that promote and help and have a hospital that helps children that have bad diseases, that have
yes, I do.
cancers and amputations and things like that. It's so sad, and I want to help these people. So you need to find something in your heart and soul that is important to you, that you want to connect with, and you want it to help, put in a better place. So that's what I would recommend.
Thank you for that. And I know your time is limited, so one more question this morning. What message would you most want to leave with the world?
That you're here. God put you here to make the world a better place. I mentioned that in the beginning, and it's not just for your personal happiness, but doing good things for other people and doing good things for the world will secondarily make you happy. But it's not just taking and what can make you personally happy, but it's giving back and helping people and making the world a better place. I've said this so many times. There's a phrase, tikkun olam, heal the world.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you so
Sure.
much for being on my podcast. It really has been an honor and a blessing.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm so glad you called me, and I hope I help some people, going forward to give to the charity and do good things.
Amen. And to my audience listening, I'll close as I always do every show by reminding you in all things that God is absolutely good.
Okay, very
Amen.
nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.